Okay, so today's agenda is I will take you through injection molding overview. Then we will go ahead with plastics material overview. Then we will check what are the common defects in injection molded parts, as well as we will see how simulation to design better plastic parts. So how we can use simulation to design better plastic parts. And finally, I'll wrap up with the summary. So this is today's our agenda, and I'll take you through one case study also at the end. So as we all know, plastics are everywhere. The mass use of plastic started in the 1950s and has steadily grown ever since. Today, more than 300 million tons of plastics are produced annually. They may be used anywhere, not only in our engineering field, but in any field. The popularity of plastics is not due to its low production cost, but also its numerous practical characteristics, including low weight, its acid resistance, and flexibility. In addition, plastics are flexible. It also encourages technological innovations like in the field of medicine, building technology, aircraft, automotive, etc., which lead to new solutions, improvements, and comfort. So the injection molding terminology. So I'll just take you through quick introduction before I actually go into the SolidWorks plastics. So we all know that injection moldings is having certain terminologies like sprue, right? So it is a passage from the nozzle of injection molding machine of the mold to runner system. And runner is there, which is the passage from end of the sprue to the cavities. This is where the actually molten plastic enters into the cavity, and we have the gate. It is the interference between the runner system and the mold cavity. And finally, we have the cavity, which is the final form of the molded part, what we are actually going to manufacture from the injection molding machine. Okay, a few more attendees are waiting. Let me just accept their invitations. Just a moment. Yeah. Moving on to the next slide. Yeah, so this is the pictorial representation of what I just discussed. So there is sprue, there are a few gates, there are runners, and there is core, and finally we have the cavity where our actual part form is available. Now, why we go to the injection molding? What are the benefits? So we can produce complex geometry in net shape, right? So the shape is final shape. So very little or no other manufacturer. Okay, there are few attendees who are trying to speak. Can you just mute yourself? So there is an option at the top to mute. So if you hover your mouse at the top, you can mute it so that everybody can listen properly. Okay, thank you everyone. So there are few advantages of why we go into the injection molding to produce geometry in net shape. So when I say net shape, so it is the actual final product. So there is very little or no post processing is required as compared to other conventional manufacturing process. We can produce high volume, right? Hundreds of thousands to millions parts per year. Then it is a fast. So typical cycle time is 3 to 60 seconds. It is low cost per part. So the cost per part is very less, and detailed features and complex geometries can be manufactured using this. As obviously I said previously, the plastics are very light, they are chemically resistant, good strength to weight ratio. Yeah, so these are few of the benefits that why we go into the injection molding. Now let me take you to the next slide. is the injection mold overview. Right, so I'll quickly summarize or quickly brush up your knowledge that how this machine works. So the plastic pellets go in here, then the plastics pellets are melted over there. So there are various stages by which the melting takes place, right? And once they are melted, then the next thing is injection mold goes in here. So this is our cavity, and the plastic part comes out. So this is a very pretty simple procedure. So I'm just revising these things. So you are knowing all these things. I'm just doing the revision. Yeah. And there are certain stages. Like the first stage, the screw moves forward and fills the mold cavity. It is roughly 97 to 99% volume. Then the next stage is your pack and hold stage. Right? So in this, the pressure is held on the entire system to complete the mold filling by 100%, right? And compensate any shrinkage if there is. Then the second stage, the pressure is released only after the gate freezes and molten plastic can no longer escape the mold cavities, right? So this is my second stage. And the third stage is my cooling. So once the stages are completed, it needs to be cooled to a temperature that is safe for ejected for the part to be ejected out. Right? So these are few of the steps, and finally we eject it. The mold is opened and the parts are taken out. Now one more interesting questions. Why plastics? Right, so there are various materials available starting from metals, non-metals, composites, etc. But why plastics? Because they are lightweight, they have high strength to weight ratio, they can be easily customized, right? They can be given any form and shape. Then almost limitless design flexibility. They are chemically inert and chemically resistant. That's why most of the parts are used in food contact applications, medical devices, artificial body parts, hazardous waste storage, etc. Right? So these are a few of the things that why plastics are used. Excellent impact resistant and visual aesthetic. The look should be good, etc. So there are many advantages, or we can say why we opt for plastics. Now let me go ahead with the next. Plastic materials, as we all know, are divided into two major categories: thermoplastic and thermosets. So thermoplastics can be remelted back to the liquid, right? While thermosets always remain in permanent solid. So we are unable to just take it into the liquid and do the same cycle again. So this is just a common difference. And again, thermoplastics are used majorly in injection molding, right? So the procedure is different when you use thermoplastic or thermosets for your injection molding. But if you talk about thermoplastics, they are again into two categories like amorphous and crystalline, depending upon the application where we want to use. So the amorphous thermoplastics are polycarbonate, acrylic, polystyrene, etc. And crystalline are HDPE, LDPE, polypropylene, etc. Now, why in thermoplastic there are these two categories? Again, I insist everybody to mute their mics. Hello, you can mute the mic so that everybody can hear me properly. So in thermoplastics, there are two major categories: amorphous compared to crystalline. So the amorphous is having good transparency, crystalline is translucent. So according to the application, we can divide whether we want to go to amorphous or crystalline, right? So there are these two. Let me just tell everybody to mute their mic. Okay, let me tell everybody to mute it. Okay, thank you. So according to the applications, and taking into account the properties, you can go whether you want amorphous or crystalline. Again, what is the effect of design material change on processability, right? So if you increase the wall thickness, so the pressure required to fill goes down, but the cooling time increases, right? And if you decrease the wall thickness, so these are some of the things what you can do and the effects. So the pressure required to fill will go up, but the cooling time will be reduced, right? If you again increase the flow length, what will happen? Okay, if you change the gate, add colorant, add reinforcement. So these are all the things which will affect. Now let me come on to the things what we are actually waiting for, like what are the common defects in injection molded parts. Why we have to depend on softwares, right? To have our designs perfect. Like there are various defects, warpage is there, then there are air traps. So these are some of the common defects what I have listed down. There are sink marks coming up, then there are weld lines, right? When the two weld flow front meet each other, the weld lines are generated, which is not aesthetically good. Then there are short shots when the part is not being getting completely filled, right? So these are some of the defects because of which parts are not produced according to our requirement. Jetting is there, right, etc. Now the main thing comes, like, is it manufacturable? Some of the unanswered questions. What is the best gate location? So majority of the industries which are into injection mold manufacturing, right? So they have to take into account these things, like where are the weld lines, air traps, how many mold revisions are taking when finally my part is produced, how about the quality, etc. Right? If there are various revisions coming up, then the cost also increases. So these are few questions which are troubling most of the plastic industries. So where comes into picture the SolidWorks simulation? So it delivers easy to use simulation for analyzing plastic parts and injection molds. It simulates how melted plastic flows during the injection molding process to predict manufacturing related defects, right? So you can quickly evaluate part manufacturability, value design. Now we all know SolidWorks is a great CAD software, but with it there are also various things like analysis is there, then plastics, which is a dedicated tool for plastic industry. Plastics is there, right, which are built in SolidWorks. So let us go into one product which I will showcase to you how you can leverage the software to produce your products correctly without any defects. All right, so this is my SolidWorks. So I'm using the version of SolidWorks over here, in which yeah, okay, so it is made up of certain assemblies, sub assemblies, etc. Right now, this is a simple example of a smoke alarm. Now, as I said earlier, hardly there are any products in the market which will not consist plastic parts, right? So there are hardly any products in the market. So I am taking an example of a smoke alarm in which there are few electrical components are available, right? While the casing is made up of plastic, which I am concentrating right now. So you can look the things in the plastics, like there are various hooks available, right? How the part is created, how the design is created. So there are various hooks, there are various hook grooves available, right? As well as few electrical capacitors, PCBs, etc. So what I'm interested here right now is to open this part just say no. And yeah, so this is my plastic part which I want to check. What should be the thickness, what should be the ejection location, where it should be placed, right? How many gates are required to fill this product completely, or are there any defects occurring on my part, right? So beforehand itself you will come to know all these things, right? And then you can go ahead with your part manufacturing in the machine. Okay, so over here these are all my 3D features which are available, right? And if you just activate your plastic add-in, so it is again a single window software. You just have to activate the product that you are interested. So as I mentioned earlier, not only plastics, even simulation, flow simulation, CFD are also included, right? And you will have all the options available. Okay, so let me just activate the studies over here. Again, you can look closely. There are few features in this product which are much intricate. There are ribs in the product. Then also there are few things like the company logo or the company name are all imprinted on the product, right? So all these things you will have to take into account while you design your plastic part. So each and every cavity must be filled completely, right? So yeah, see over here. Yeah, so there is this the name also written over here, right? Okay, so once you create your plastic, right? So the first thing we give is we have to assign a proper material to it. Now, SolidWorks plastics consist majority of the materials which are available, starting from ABS, right? So these are all the list of the standard material or the standard database of material which is available. So once you install, so these all properties will be popped up, right? Even you can create your own material if required. You can create your user defined material by just giving these properties. So there are various properties of plastics required. Also, one good thing about this is that you can even filter the material according to the various companies which are available, right? So if you are using some material, say for example it is manufactured by 3M company, right? So they are all bifurcated over here. So if you are using the material which is manufactured by BASF, they are all filtered over here. So you can choose the materials from here. So this is my standard material library and user defined. If the material, if you are facing difficulties in finding out in the standard material database, right? Also, you can give the material to your mold also. It is made up of steel. So this is the material of my mold, core and cavity. So you can again choose it from the library. Now the important thing starts. What will be my filling time, right? What is my melt temperature, the molten temperature which will be entering this cavity, right? So this is considered as a cavity. This product what you are looking over here. What is my mold temperature? What is the injection pressure limit? Right, so all these things you can input over here. Even you can input what is the clamping force of the mold in tonnage. You have to clamp the force. So all these things can be incorporated here. And once the next thing is we will give the ejection location where your ejection location is to be maintained. So you can just add the location over here. I request everybody to mute your mic please so that everybody can hear it properly. Let me just mute everyone. Just a second. I'll just mute everybody. Yeah. I'll just mute all the people. Okay, so everybody is muted now. Yeah, sorry for the disturbance. Okay. Okay, so you can give the ejection location and then specify the diameter of it. What should be the diameter of your ejection location? And you can add the location from where your molten plastic would be entering into your cavity. There are a few more people who are not muted, so let me just mute all of them. Yeah, I think now it is good to go. Yeah, okay. Thank you for bearing this with me. Yeah. And the next thing is we'll run it. So once we finish the analysis, yeah, so you can look over here. It will give you what is the fill time, what is the pressure at the end of the fill, right? What is the temperature, right? So these are all the things which will give you as an output. Then what is the temperature at the end of cooling? Then gate filling contribution. So I am using here one gate. So you can see over here, my part is not getting completely filled. Red means it is empty. The plastic is not filled. Green means it is completely filled. So you can even animate it to check. Now we can see here, there is a defect of short is detected here. The part is not completely filled. It may be because of the improper gate location, improper pressure limit of the machine, right? Or it may be any other defect. Maybe my design is not correct, maybe thickness is not correct. So you can have a look of all these things, right? So what I have done over here, I have created a next configuration in which I have increased the thickness. I can see Mr. Prashant is not able to hear me. Is everybody audible? Can you just type in the chat box Y if you are able to hear me, and N if you are unable to hear me? Okay, yeah, I can see Y coming up. Okay, thank you everybody. I think there may be issue from your computer or something. Okay. And regarding to any queries, I have kept a special slot at the end. We can have a look at all the queries. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so as seen earlier, my part was not getting completely filled. So I'll just activate that study again where I have stopped and continue the session. Okay, so this is my first configuration what I have activated and created the study with the thickness in which I got the short. Yeah, so you can look over here. So one of the great thing about SolidWorks is you can anytime go back to your part modeling, do the necessary changes, right? And come back to your plastics. So all the changes will be taken into account. You just have to run the study. Okay, yeah, so I'll just again highlight the first result what I had shown you. The ejection location was placed at one end, right? And how the molten plastic was flowing within the cavity. So what I noticed over here, that there is a short occurring. Yeah, so my injection location is here and the plastic was unable to reach 100% cavity, right? So as I mentioned, it would be due to your improper gate location, improper material of plastic maybe, or improper design, right? So all these things can be taken into account, right? So one by one I will have it, like I am increasing the thickness. So if you look closely over here, the thickness is uniform. But what if I increase the thickness? Will it be getting completely filled? Right? What should be the optimum thickness I should keep? Yeah, so if you look closely, I have increased the thickness, and you can directly clone the studies. So there is no need to give all the parameters again. So all the settings of my gate location, ejection pressure, and everything can be kept same just by cloning the study, right? And now let me just highlight the results for you. Yes. Okay. So now we can see that the part is getting filled or not. So the molten plastic is starting to enter the cavity from this end where my ejection location is. Also, we can check different things also, like are there any weld lines occurring or not. Okay, so let me just pause this thing. So I am sure my part is getting completely filled, and I'll check few other things like the weld lines. So what are these weld lines? When the molten plastic, when it enters the cavity, right, and it molten flow front meets together from the two direction, there will be weld lines created, right? So that thing also you can check here. Also you can check whether any air traps are there or not, right? So we can see there are few air traps also available. So all these things you can take into account. Okay, now I've created one more study in which I have changed the gate location, right? Previously my gate location was over here, this small rib what I have created. So there are various what if questions, like what if I change the material, what if I change the thickness, what if I change the design, right? Which you can get answered very quickly and very easily just by changing the configurations. I have just created various configurations and I have just cloned the studies. Okay, so let us check what if I change my gate location, and due to which is there any change in the result, whether my part would be getting completely filled, right? Whether I am able to eradicate the results or not. Okay, yeah, so now my gate location is over here. So the blue color is the region which is getting filled first, and the red color is the region which is getting filled in the last, right? So we can see you can change the gate locations and then finalize which is the proper gate location so that my part is getting completely filled, right? So previously what used to happen to the various injection industry, that they have to create this part, right, and take the part from the ejection machine and then check whether there are any defects or not, which used to be very huge in terms of cost, time consuming and all. But with this software you can pre-hand get answer to the various questions, right? Also you can change the material, right, and then see which is the best suited material for such analysis. What if I'm using PC, what if I'm using ABS material. Now let me quickly jump on to the next part in which I have created a family mold, right, in which there is top casing and bottom casing. I want to manufacture or eject out simultaneously, right? So in this case, we are also having an option of multi-gate ejection, right? So you can create the runner, riser, spruce, everything. So whenever we talk about ejection molding machine, we have to create mold in such a way that uh, maximum number of parts are getting out of the machine, right? Yeah, so you can see here I am creating two sets of smoke alarm in this case. Okay, so again, let me jump on to the SolidWorks plastics and showcase to you if you want to create a runner riser system in your product. So to create a runner riser system, I have just created a sketch, right? How my runner and riser is going to be, and virtually I have given all the runner wizard over here. So you can specify what should be the diameters, right? The first end and the second end of the runners, as well as number of elements. So likewise, I have given this to my component, and finally, let me showcase the results. So you can check what should be the diameter of this runner riser system, right? Whether it is suitable or not, whether it should be less, whether it should be more, right? So this is my whole assembly with the entire system. So simultaneously my top casing and bottom casing are getting filled. But there is one issue in this. The parts are not getting filled together, right? This top casing is getting filled at the different speed, while the bottom casing, the smaller two parts, are getting filled at the different speed. So we need to even balance this thing. Because of uneven filling, the parts will not be created perfectly. Am I correct? So all the four parts should be filled evenly. This is also one of the major issue what most of the industries are facing right now. Okay, the parts must be filled evenly. So you can look closely, the smaller two parts, bottom casing, are getting filled last. So for that also we are having an answer, right? So you can even perform runner balancing in this. So there is a very interactive tool of runner balancing in which the SolidWorks will decide what should be the diameters of the runner system, right? So you will just specify the maximum and minimum values, and then the SolidWorks will decide the optimum value of the diameters of the gate location from where the molten plastic is entering the cavity, right? So that the four cavities are getting filled at the same time. There is no mismatch of the filling of the cavities. Again, this is very good thing what SolidWorks has included in the plastics, and majority of the people are manufacturing family molds. Few of them are manufacturing single mold. So in single mold there is no any issue, but if you are going into family molds, you have to take care of many things, right? So one of them is this runner balancing system. So let me just show you how runner balancing is done. So into the boundary condition, I am having this runner balancing option, which will, yeah. So over here, if you look closely in my previous model, the runner system was, the diameter was equal, right? But after the analysis, what SolidWorks has done is it has changed the diameter of this runner systems, right? So how it has done? So we have to give the values like maximum diameter and minimum diameter, and maximum diameter and minimum diameter of the inlet. So when I say inlet, it is actually the point of contact where your molten plastic is entering the cavity, right? So all these things will be changed, and diameter is also varied accordingly. And once you hit calculate, so it will adjust the diameters in such a way that your parts are getting filled at the same time up to certain extent, right? So you can also leverage this capability of simultaneous filling or runner balancing system. So let me just showcase you that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So still, if you are get not satisfied, you can change the maximum and minimum diameters in the runner balancing wizard, right? And you can increase the iterations to see that it is being getting filled at exactly same time. So from my previous result, I got a good result over here, right? So these are few of the things what SolidWorks has to offer you. But let me jump on to the next set. So if you recall my presentation, I had mentioned few of the defects what are occurring in SolidWorks plastics, right? Starting from warpage, sink marks, right? So all these things. So let me showcase you one more set of results in which I have calculated what is the warpage occurring in my product, right? So what is warpage? Whenever you fill your molten plastic into the cavity and after the cooling stage is completed, the part tries to shrink, right? It tries to shrink in either X, Y or Z direction according to the gravity. So we have to again have a look at that, right? How much percentage or how much shrinkage is occurring. And likewise, we give the shrinkage allowance or warpage allowance to our model. Okay, so for this part, you can see here how much it is getting shrinked. It is 1.77 in this direction and 0.09 over here, right? So let me just change the deformation scale. Right now it is a true scale, but just for your easy understanding, I'll increase the scale. See, I have increased the scale to 7 times. So the results are 7 times the actual result. So this is how shrinkage is occurring in my product, right? So all these answers can be taken from the SolidWorks software. Okay. And finally, you can create a good summary and report as well in Excel file to showcase it to the team or to the managerial or the director level. If you want to showcase the results, you can extract a good report also. Okay. So what are the benefits? Like you can cover a wide range of injection molding process, predict manufacturing related defects on parts and molds. You can change the design simultaneously with the SolidWorks CAD since it is a single window software. You can change the design in CAD, come back to your plastic analysis and you just have to run the study. You can do multiple gate designs, runner designs, even cooling system is available. So let me just highlight you the cooling system as well. So I have created a cooling system here to extract the heat away from the ejection machine, right? So you can even have the cooling system created. So in cooling system also extensive database is available from the type of coolant what you are using. It can be either water or any other refrigerant, right? Again, I have just created a 2D sketch and virtual coolant is applied. For example, if I take a look at the first pipe, which is highlighted in the pink color, and the material I have taken water. So you can use this huge list of predefined coolants also, inlet temperature and the flow rate in terms of cc per second or in terms of MPa, whatever you are easy, you can use that, as well as you can change the direction also, right? So what will be the effect of cooling also you can take into account when you are studying the final results. Avoid expensive mold rework. right? So before there were, or we can have an example like if an industry is not using software, so beforehand it would have to create one product, eject out from the ejection molding machine, and then it had to check for any defects, right, which was very much costly. But with ejection with this software SolidWorks Plastics, you can beforehand validate your product for any of the issues, any of the defects, so that whatever part you are ejecting out of the machine is just correct, right? And reduce the time to market, reduce the material wastage, resulting healthy environment, right? So whatever practical testing you are doing before you finalize your product, those all are going to be wasted, right? Because some of the products may be having warpages or sink marks or weld lines, right? For testing purposes, those all would be going to be waste. So you can even reduce the wastage. So the next part of my agenda is one case study. Now this is our SolidWorks Plastics user, Ambix Consulting LLC, who was facing challenges like streamlining complex ejection mold development to improve manufacturability, shorten development time and reduce cost. So the solution what they are using is SolidWorks Plastic Ejection Mold Filling Simulation software. And what benefits they have from the software were like they cut the mold development time in half, achieved 95% first shot success, right? First shot success is what? That whatever product you have designed, and in the first shot itself it is correct, right? So in the first shot itself it becomes correct. So the success rate what they have achieved is 95%. Increase annual molded output from a few thousand to 10 million parts, and realized close collaboration between simulation and production. Nowadays, actually, I urge all my customers or all of the people to make use of the simulation, right? So if we have a look, say some 20 or 30 years ago, everyone were into 2D sketching and 2D drawing. So they have now jumped on, say from last 10 years, they have now jumped into 3D modeling. And now we are into the phase where most of the industries are taking advantage of the simulation software to have their design optimized to increase the overall revenue, etc. And finally, I'd like to conclude my presentation by focusing on the few points like maintain social distance, stay home, stay safe, have personal hygiene, be vigilant and optimistic.